Hello everyone, welcome to another Tales of Zestria The Cross review. On episode 10, I'm going to apologize right now. Sorry about this video being a day late. I usually upload it on the day. I uploaded Shokeki no Soma and Rewrite as soon as I got home from my downtown 8 hour escapade of walking non-stop with friends and all of that. And it was a blast. I was extremely tuckered out, but I managed to get Shokeki no Soma and Rewrite Meltdown review. Correct myself. Most saltiest review I think I've done on this channel so far, and it will definitely not be the last. Ready on. My schedule is usually as regular reviewers usually do. Episode comes out the day, sometime during the day, whether it's immediately after, if I'm watching it, or I like to download the episode to keep it on my hard drive to watch for further use, or like just show to friends or something, or watch on my own time again, see if just for fun. That's what I would usually do. But sometimes there are circumstances where I won't be able to watch it on the day that it comes out, and I'll do it the day after if I can. Very rarely, I haven't done it yet, but very rarely I'll have to delay the review by 2 days, which will probably never happen if I can help it, but sometimes things spiral out of control. Now, to the review. This episode, The Prelude to War, is what it should have been called, as this episode was basically a setup episode that is going to feed into the next episode, which is prominent scutely. I think I've used that word wrong and I pronounced it wrong, but it's obviously going to be titled War, which is what the title card of the next episode in the preview when Alicia name dropped the next episode's War, after that hilarious comedic exchange between her and Rose, who would finally get to know her name, or they didn't mention her name, I forgot it, I'm sorry. The thing is, I haven't played the game, so I don't really don't know what's going to happen during this bed, but I'm going to suggest that Sorey and friends are going to have to fight against them. And my biggest pet peeve right now of Alicia is her no fighting, I'm going to end the fight without fighting, which is a dumb mentality. I can see where you're coming from, but it's just a dumb mentality that these characters like to stick by. And I'll fast forward way too fast into the episode. For some reason, I always like to do that. I like to go forward in the episode, and I like to go back and then connect and back and forth. It's really weird. If you guys don't like the format that I'm doing right now, then you can just leave a comment, and I'll try to fix it or alter it in some way to make it less confusing if you're into all that. So basically, this episode picks up right from when Mikleo and Sorey pwned that Waverin, also called a dragon puppy in Japanese, because the voiceovers clearly say dragon puppy when the subs say Waverin. Now, I don't know about you, but I think Dragon Puppy is an appropriate thing to call Waverin. It definitely isn't a dragon, but it is not yet a dragon. It looks like a dragon, but it's not a dragon, so it's called a Dragon Puppy. I mean, if I called a puppy a dog, it wouldn't make sense either. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, let's just say that if I was to meet a dragon puppy in the middle of the street, it wouldn't be a fun, happy old time. It would probably involve a lot of cursing, screaming, death, and a Jurassic Park escapade runaway thing where somehow I managed to escape. But moving on to this episode, basically Sorey and Mikleo purify the waters of the town whose name I conveniently have forgotten. It must have not been important. I guess it is important, but it just slipped my mind again. Purify the water, and we get a bit of insight into how the shepherd basically purifies Helions. We see that Sorey so far has been purifying Helions that are like from the nature, from animals. But this episode we get to see him purify a Helion born from a human. Now, as not Alicia, but I'm forgetting a lot of things today. I'm sorry, but I'm really exhausted. I haven't fully recovered from Saturday. My stamina tolerance is really low. My max stamina, if you would call it. And just school has me tuckered out with a bunch of schoolwork and all that. But enough excuses. I've forgotten a lot of things. I'm also going to forget Lila. That's her name. Her name popped right back into my brain like a frisbee. That's a terrible analogy, but anyways, says that purifying a human Helion is very different than purifying a Helion from an animal, a plant, or an inanimate object, or whatever. Is that when the shepherds purify humans, they take in the malevolence. Now, what this also means is basically, aside from Sorey getting like flashbacks into the deepest, darkest secrets of what made the person a Helion, we also get to see some concerning news about shepherds in general. Why they might have gone extinct, except for Sorey's new appearance as a shepherd, is that when taking in this malevolence, they themselves in turn slowly become malevolent. They basically take in the malevolent, and I guess it also powers them up, as it seems to be since a Helion is a powerful thing. Only shepherds and special things can harm it, and seraphims can't do it. But shepherds, which are essentially humans, special humans, can purify a Helion in that way. With Lila and everyone else saying that only shepherds can do it, like purify it the way he does. Is that I think that the malevolence is going to power up Soray, give him an evil side. I haven't played a game. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I guess that's not the case, but it might prove to be like some sort of negative thing for Soray in the long run once he starts purifying more and more. And since the next episode is titled War, episode 11, we can assume that he's going to be doing quite a bit of purifying. I haven't played the game, as I said before, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong. That's what I'm going to guess. Or he gets attacked by this large malevolent thing and he fights it and he absorbs all of it and just gets comatose or like knocked out for a great majority of the fight. I don't know. But as we continue on, we also get to find out that war is brewing. The Lord Bryant, or whatever his face is, essentially going to sack the nearby Kingdom Roland, amassing troops at the border, basically to sack the nearest village there and continue on to the capital. Or why else would you go to war and invade another country? You're gonna take it over or something to that nature for supplies, because apparently, from what Alicia says and what from her private guard are saying, is that the kingdom of Lady Lake and everyone else, although in supplies, especially Lady Lake, and since there's a crisis, the Brolin kingdom nearest to them, and that Lord Fialant, whatever his name is, basically wants to try to amend this shortage of supplies by ransacking and plundering villages and all that for supplies, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, I guess, yeah, people who are desperate do turn violent and do all sorts of those things. But I can also guess from where it's coming from, because if they take over Roland or whatever, they're going to have additional supplies at the cost of that, kingdom's people, which I'm going to guess is what Roland's Dubin is going to do. That while waiting for the princess to go out, Alicia to go out of her way to go to the thing helping the villages and all that, it was a perfect way to push his agenda. We also get to see a bit of interaction of the Rose, I'm pretty sure she's red haired girl, who we get to see in the opening ending songs, and who is also going to be a shepherd probably. Now, why do I say this? Remember that the episode with what was that, like 4, 5, or 6, or 4 or 5, where Velvet, yeah, the ending song, or the opening song for the game that was playing the ending in the ending of the first Velvet Tales of Zestria episode. Yeah, it spoiled me. GG. We find out that the Sparrow Feathers, or whatever they're called, the trading group, has responded to helping the place where Alicia is, and we get to find out that Alicia wants to end this war before it starts without fighting, and basically the leader of the assassin group, which is very similar to Sparrow Feathers, which is actually another name for them, I would guess, basically says that doing so is dumb because the first casualties will be on your side. As, all right, let me get this straight. Okay, so let's just say Rose is the assassin leader. She says no falsity, or I don't know how they say it. I need to find a word for it. In Alicia's words, and basically agrees to help her. It's Rose. But I just don't get this mentality. You want to end war, and you're going to end it without fighting. You're going to have a bunch of soldiers drop their weapons at the hands of other armed soldiers on your side, mind you, who probably want to kill and plunder. You're going to be like, we're going to throw down our weapons and we're going to have a peaceful negotiation. No, you're going to get stabbed, shanked, shot, whatever. Solving violence without violence is possible, depending on the situation, but there are some times where that just isn't possible. That's like saying a group of SWAT officers should solve a hostage situation by throwing down their weapons and saying, let's have some peace negotiation. No, those SWAT officers are going to get shot or be taken as hostages, and then everything's just going to get worse from there on. If you know what I'm saying, that type of I don't want to kill, I don't want to fight mentality. I want stop war without fighting. It's simply impossible unless you're a mind control freak or you have the Gios and Code Gios. But then yeah, you're pretty much OP at that point if you have the one that the Luz has, or Rise from Code Geass Lost Colors, which is a game. Very cool visual novel game. I wish it was translated in English, but with limited understanding of Japanese, I was able to play it with a lot of difficulty and deaths in the combat section, but that's beside the point. Now, this episode, as I said before, is basically a big setup, and we're setting up the pieces near the end of the first core, which the second core that Ufuro will be doing, since will probably be almost anime original. We'll be adding new things, and Velvet might show up because it's called Tales of Zestria the Cross. Everyone has been saying that Cross meant the crossover between Tales of Zestria and Tales of Zestria. Well, I don't really mind a crossover as I haven't played Tales of Zestria, so I don't know the full scope of the story, but it will be interesting to see because technically Velvet, the main character from Tales of Zestria, seems like she has some sort of Helion-like power or demon power, as they're not called Helions in Tales of Zestria until the era of time in Tales of Zestria. That's besides the point. Well, what this episode also made me want was a Grow Lancer anime. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I know I'm getting a bit off topic. You can skip a bit, like a couple, like 50, 30 minutes, I guess, before the end of this video to see me doing the hey, it's end of the review, and I'll be seeing you in the next review. What this episode made me wish for, and was Grow Lancer anime. If you don't know what Grow Lancer is a JRPG or yeah, JRPG, Japanese SRPG game where you control like several units and all of that, like a over the top thing. You go around, you can do movements, spells, attacks, and stuff, which have very interesting stories, usually revolving around war, kingdoms, and all of that. Well, and it would be so interesting to see. I mean, like the lore of Grow Lancer is a lot rich, a lot more depth, and it's a shame that Grow Lancer 6 was the one that ended the series because of Grow Lancer 5. Because in Japan and America, no one, it had a bit of a bad rep, and it spread a lot. It spread in Japan, even though Grow Lancer 6 was good from what I hear. Is that the damage was done. Nobody liked the franchise after that, which is a bit strange. I mean, you get a lot of mediocre JRPGs that somehow grows to greatness. They had a single game that's terrible. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Grow Lancer fan base or people in general. Well, Japan is not as accepting because it was a more established franchise. It's just a one bad game and it makes the entire thing a bad egg. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I can have like an off-topic discussion about like what I want to see in anime and what animes I want to see, like games. But this is besides the point. This is gonna be the end of the video right now. Oh, 12 minutes, huh? Everyone have a nice day, nice night, wherever you all are, and have a wonderful, fantastic wherever. I'll be seeing everyone else in the next review. Oh, or wait, I'll be doing fall anime. What I'll be potentially watching and reviewing this coming fall. October next month. Dang, time sure flies fast. And we got winter coming up too. Ah, yes. I won't be doing winter until it's, December. But fall, I'll be doing a video about that very shortly. It might come out today. I might do it tomorrow. I'm pretty tuckered out, so don't count on it being it today. So everyone have a nice day wherever you all are at. And this is me, Rayama, signing out. See you all in the next video.